Yeah, we're. I was convinced to come over. We're not quite moved in here yet, but we got stuff in here, and most of this stuff is gonna be evacuated from here when the extension is done. And I guess the great majority of it, except for that little fridge, is gonna go to the other building, the Baha'i Kubel, and or in the kitchen, like the table where the TV sit in, right there. That table is going to go out in the kitchen area, and this bedding's going to go to the Baha'i Kubel, and we've got a generator, and that's going to go out to the side into a shed. Eventually, that table is going to the Baha'i Kubel. The chair is going out in the kitchen, and that's a gas stove right there, four burners actually, I think. And that's going to go out in the kitchen, obviously. So all this is going to be out of here. So we can't move into the extension is done. They're working on it right now. But when the extension gets done, it's the whole building concrete's in place, but the door's got to go in, drop ceiling's got to go in, painting's got to get done, and I'm considering tile on the floor, so that's got to get done. Anyway, when that's all done, dried and all ready to go, and we've tested all the accessories, as far as the electrical part of it, and we're going to move completely in after we move everything out of the inside here that I just showed you. But in addition to that, I mean, we could move in, but we got additional family members that are going to come with us. They're both working in Iloilo, but they could also work remotely. So they kind of want to follow us out here. And I said, yeah, that's fine. I don't mind. I got a Kubo sitting here, and in my situation where I may have to fly back to the States for a sick relative at any given time, I want my significant other to have company. So this is family, and so she'll have company out here, which is great. They could help her with the property, whatever else. So I don't mind them living in the Baha'i Kubo. And we set up a separate meter for them, all that for their electric. So that's going to be totally on them. They don't have to pay rent. I don't have a problem with that. This is my taking care of who I'm with. So in the event if something happened to me, she'll have something to fall back on. And I gave her the choice between the money or the property, and she chose the property because she can make this into a workable, self-sustaining. And I'm going to help it turn it into a self-sustaining environment. I'm going to eventually, if you look at the picture that I'm facing on the TV up here, that's not what it looks like currently, but that's the paint scheme where we decided to go with when we paint the exterior. Anyway, so that's the main house. It's not a big house. It's only 10 by 20 in the bedroom portion of it. And the extension for the kitchen is like what is it, 10 deep by 19 feet wide. So she's got plenty of kitchen space. But if you know Filipino standards, it's more than enough, especially for the fact it's just the two of us that's living in this main house, and the Baha'i Kubitz could be another couple. And the property's 1,000 square meters, so it's plenty of space for her to grow stuff, whatever she needs to do. And she was a green thumb before she met me, so he's very adept at growing stuff and utilizing it and making money off it. So I thought it was a good choice rather than buying a house in the city somewhere or a condo, especially because they're way overpriced. So for about 1.5, I think I'm going to spend for this property, including the price of the property. I might be a little bit over that, but about 1.5 million pesos. I think I've done a pretty good job. I've got two structures in place. I'm going to have a secondary bathroom, CR rather. That's going to be like not quite like an outhouse, but it's going to be concreted in. It's going to have a septic of its own. It's going to have water coming in from Tabo. You know, they're not going to shower. They do Tabo anyway, so I'm just going to have a faucet coming into it with a little shower and a little Volt-type toilet that you have to use a bucket to drop it down for the flush part of it. I'm not going to have a floating bowl for it, rather. I mean, toilet bowl, like, what do they call it, a bomb type of toilet, where you just a place to sit, but you don't have the flush portion of it. Because in here, they just use buckets for stuff like that anyway, so it's more cost efficient to do it that way. That part of it has not been done yet. The septic's been dug out, but they got to concrete it in and all that stuff. And so we still got a lot to be done here. Last I checked, I'd spent like probably 700K between the Baha'i Kubo and what we've done here so far, and it keeps ramping up. So I expect that I'm probably gonna be hit a million pesos for just the two structures I built: the water tower, the piping, plumbing, electrical work, and everything else. The slab I built for the Baha'i Kubo, the cost of the Baha'i Kubo, the cost of this house, the cost of extension. So we're going to be hitting probably a million pesos easy, and maybe a little bit over. And then the property itself, which is 1,000 square meters, hits about 500,000. So we got a good deal on that. That's about 500 pesos per square meter is what it comes out to. So for about 1.5 to 1.8 maybe, we're going to definitely be under 2 million pesos. So I'm perfectly fine with that. It's what I wanted to build for her for any kind of her own form of a pension or inheritance should something happen to me, because it's problematic trying to get to the States right now. We both have things we got to attend to. I got to attend to things in the States. She's got to attend to things here in the Philippines. So I decided, by the time she ever became a U.S. citizen and she followed me to the States, which I don't have a place in the States of my own anyway, it would take frickin' years. And who knows if I'm going to be kicking the bucket at that time, before that time, or whatever. So I just decided I'll just take care of her here. It's what she prefers. And, that's what we both prefer is here anyway. The only reason I go back to the States is for family. That's it. So anyway, with that being said, that's it in a nutshell. They're working all day. We should be kicking off for lunch pretty soon. But they're doing I think they're doing the drop ceiling. I don't know if we're going to look out there. I don't know. I kind of want to respect people's privacy to work, so I don't usually film people. But that's what's going on. Yeah, the drop ceiling. You can see it's going on right now. And it's going to look really nice, actually. Wiring's gone in. We got a generator cutoff switch over in that wall over there. And we still got a lot to do, painting and the rest of it, so we're a long ways from done. But this right here and here, after I get it all cleared out, is going to have, we have some beds being made out of maple. One of them's done already, not maple, mahogany. There's mahogany trees all around her. We got a good deal on them, so we used a couple of slabs that we bought. We bought like 300 slabs of mahogany. We're making beds out of some of it, and we're going to make a garden shed out of some of the rest of it, and a covered patio for the Baha'i Kubo that's sitting out of the property. If you look at my previous videos, you can see where that brown and white metal Baha'i Kubo. We're going to build a covered patio off the front of that, and it's going to be connected by hollow block CR, which I'll probably get that finished too, like this moving process that they do. But the inside of this part, turn the light on. Inside of this part is hollow block, and it's attached to metal framing. And I was trying to emphasize our thicker one wall for the walls. We got double wall in here, so it's pretty decent. But these walls are thin. And in between the walls is just a thin portion of like a Reflectix material, aluminum foil looking material for insulation. Same thing with the drop ceiling above it. There's a metal roof, but in between on that roof is a Reflectix material. I forget what they call it here, but that's what the only thing they use for insulation pretty much. And that's what we did. But on going to the end of this house, we added a 6 by 8 foot dimension hollow block finished out bathroom. Let's turn it on. You can hear the fan comes on regardless. Sorry for the mess. We're still in a moving in process, which we're not done yet. Anyway, that's the Tabo / shower. And now that door, which was just a UPVC door, it led out into the yard. Now it leads out into the addition, the bathroom, rather the kitchen, which is cool because I didn't want a PVC door with access to my main CR that leads into my main, main living area. Which after we get this all cleared out, we're just going to have two, single beds or double beds side by side, made of mahogany. Because we already had single mattresses, I decided to go with single frames side by side in this area right in here where the boxes are. And then in here, I'm going to have an entertainment center running this way with a big TV. And then beyond by the window facing me will be two recliners. This will be like a studio apartment right in here, but all this is going to be changed and all this is going to be removed. And then we're going to add recliners and beds. The beds would be against that wall in there. And then going out to the kitchen area, which this is a paddle looking out that way, right? And that door leads to that kitchen I showed earlier where the workers are. Going out in there is where this table here will go, like I said earlier. And all this other stuff is going to be moved out there too, in addition to the generator, having its own generator room. There's a lot of work to be done yet, and the way labor works here, we got like a local contractor, and the way labor works here, it's supposed to go 60%. I think we're paying 50%, but I think the norm is 60% of whatever your material cost is. So you get your list for whatever they bought. Sometimes you're getting cost overruns because I changed things. We changed the dimensions. The extension was going to be a lot smaller. It was going to be half that width, but I decided just to cover both the bathroom door and the front door with it, and then add two exterior doors. So I added a lot of materials, and then I had added a generator. So your costs will overrun beyond your expectations when you build in the Philippines. And initially, I thought I was going to get it done for anywhere from 300 to 500,000 pesos. But what you got to keep in mind, and what people don't talk about on YouTube, is what about your systems? And the building, the material costs. When you're dealing with a contractor, generally it's for you're going to build with concrete or hollow blocks, hardy flex walls and whatever. It's not keeping in mind your costs of like that AC unit or your furniture or your water tank or water tower for your water tank if you want a gravity fed system, your septics and all that stuff, all the fixtures you're going to have. So a lot of people, when they're doing YouTube, they're talking about the structure, but they're not talking about all the myriad systems. So they're kind of almost dishonest in what they talk about. But you will go beyond what you think that you're going to build a property for. And that's what's happened with us. And I'm fine with it. I had the money set aside for that purpose because I was going to build her a pension or something, because I feel like with all the flying I do back and forth, anything could happen. Knock on wood, health-wise or anything else. You never know. I've lost my entire family outside of one person. So, and a lot of them died young. And most of that was their own doing. But I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth and think and just assume I'm going to live forever. So I wanted to build something, a legacy, so I'll be remembered by. And I don't care what people say. Yeah, I'm not on the paperwork. Everyone always gets in the same diatribe all the fucking time. That just tells me, okay, if you think that you not being able to own the property is an issue, then you think that's an issue because you don't trust who you're with. Then, well, you got a fucking problem because you chose wrong. I trust who I'm with, and it doesn't matter anyway. Because in the years we've been together, this girl saved my life for sure. One time at a minimum, if not twice, and she's kept me out of trouble, and she's done more for me than any woman I'd ever married in the States, and I've been married twice in the States. So in that regard, she's more than deserving for just the things she's done for me since I've been here in the Philippines. So I could care less even if we broke up or whatever happened, if she ended up with the property. She earned it in my book, so I'm not going to get in that diatribe with people in comments like anybody that says shit like that anyway, like, well, you got to fuck the relationship if you feel that way, or you're a dickhead. So I don't want to talk to you anyway. So I'll remove your asshole comments. So anyway, that's why I don't normally do live streams or commentary videos, because I don't like hearing people's fucking opinions, to be perfectly honest, because I don't like most expats anyway, so I don't want to hear their bullshit. But if you got something positive to say, yeah, that's fine. But if you got some bullshit, don't leave it. Anyway, so that's the deal. That's the goal. The end goal is to have that painted. I got windows here waiting to be installed and doors waiting to be installed. I got to, on that front of that house where you see that patio, there's going to be a door going out of that. And then on the other side of the house, there's going to be another door going out from where the bathroom is out into the side yard, because I'm going to have a generator shed made of metal. I'm going to put out there to containerize the generator. And then also I'm going to have a garden shed. If you look at my garden shed or my shed ideas for the property, we have a lot of mahogany wood stockpiled. So I'm probably going to build a wood gardening shed and a metal ventilated generator shed, you know, for fire issues. And I bought fire extinguishers too, dry powder type, just in case we ever have a fire, you know. So I'm cautious about everything whenever I do anything. So I don't trust insurance here in the Philippines. So I'd rather just have the capability to put something out ahead of time if I discover it quick enough. Anyway, I kind of digressed, man. But I'm not a YouTuber trying to get monetized. I gave up on that a long time ago. I've been on YouTube with other channels for years. This is just for my own keepsake. And I'll look at this video later. If I don't like it, I'll probably delete it. So anyway, guys, if you're along for the ride, welcome. If you're cool, you're welcome. If you're a dick with an asshole opinion about bullshit like you can't own land, why would you build? I already said why. So I'm not going to get into discussion again ever again about it. No, I ain't going to tolerate your bullshit comments. Your hateful shit needs to stay in the States, to be honest. I try to leave my chip that's on my shoulder, you know, when I left the West. It's still there. Obviously, I still have a chip on my shoulder at times. I know it, but it's just part of my personality. So for that reason, I don't try to hang out with people like me or people that are negative or hateful or political or ultra religiously moralizing shit to me all the time. I don't try to hang with people like that. I don't want your fucking opinions. If you want to give me friendship and it's real and a real deal, you know, without judgments or trying to one up me or try to be better than me, then that's fine. I can hang with people. I've got a core of friendships here that I developed, and they're going to be lifetime friendships. They're great people, and I'm going to keep the ones I've met. You know, I know at least 3 couples that I just love here, and there's a few people besides them I really like. And matter of fact, the people that sold us the property are fantastic people. So I'm keen with that, and the ones that matter to me or they can do for me, and I don't mean they have to give me money or anything. They just have to be real with me. But as far as anybody else, I've been in the expat group gatherings and stuff like that over time, and it's been a disappointment many times. I met some good people, but at the same time, I met some people that I just would rather never see again or hear from again, and that's why I'm kind of hostile as far as like hostile to the idea that I need to have expats around me all the time. I really don't want it. I'd rather be surrounded by Filipinos. They seem to be a lot more friendlier, in my opinion. All right, guys, I'm going to cut out here. Enjoy the property videos. I don't know if I'm ever going to do a commentary video again or any kind of live streams. I usually take them down because I'll look at them later and I don't like what I've said half the time anyway. See what I only like my own opinion. All right, guys, take care. Bye.